Hey guys, so I'm going to go over a couple things that we can do or just to know about with our lawns with this drought that we're having this year, and we're all suffering from it. If you're in and around Austin or the Central Texas area, we have the high heat, the lack of rain, and the water restrictions. And so something to really think about is that irrigation is supplemental to rainfall. It's not made to replace it. So when we go this long without the rain, your irrigation just can't keep up, especially with these high temperatures. And to add to it, the water restrictions make it almost impossible to have a green lawn, and that's okay. It doesn't have to be green, we just want to keep it alive. That's our main focus right now. If you have brown spots, perfectly fine. We all have them. I'm not even going to put pictures up right now because we know what it looks like. You can drive anywhere around. And if you find green grass, that's actually kind of amazing. But it is, everything is taking a beating. So I'm going to go over a couple things on what we can do. So one of the first ones is if you are allowed to water right now, you're probably on once a week or once every other week. There are a number of us that aren't even allowed to water, period. So this is the difficult one with your irrigation. You want to make sure that it is up and running correctly if you are allowed to use it. You want to make sure there are no breaks, no inefficiencies in it. A lot of us have a really narrow watering window. If you're in the West Travis County PUA district, which a lot of us are over here, we have a 6-hour window from midnight to 6. It is very difficult to get enough water down. So you just want to make sure you maximize that time. And you got once a week, so you don't want to let any water run off. You want to keep it all on your lawn. There's a number of ways to set that up, but we want to maximize that, and that's what we get for the whole week. And we're running 108 degrees every single day, and it's been like that all summer. And another thing we can do is start thinking about what to do for recovery. We will go from this hot summer into fall, which gives us a short window to start the recovery process before we go dormant again for the winter. There are things that we can do because we will have cooler temperatures and most likely rain come back here in the fall. We want to look at aeration. The liquid aeration is what we use, and also top dressing. Top dressing is a big one because a lot of our issues we have out here is our soil profile is not deep enough. If we get it deep enough, we can make the lawn go a lot longer without rain and not having to irrigate as much. So we want to go ahead and get that process going to where we're amending the soil or building the soil profile deeper so our roots can get down deeper and just have a stronger, healthier turf. So one of the biggest problems we see that when we have a summer like this is that especially if you have Bermuda, the lawn will weaken, the canopy opens up more, and when the cooler temperatures do come in, the thing that's going to spark off and grow the quickest are your weeds. If you're not on a weed control program, this is where you really want to be on one, because these weeds are going to start growing and they're going to be faster and more dominant than your lawn, and they're going to take off. So this late winter and spring, we're probably, especially if we have a wet winter like they're saying, we're going to have a lot of weed pressure this winter and spring, and they're going to go crazy. So our fall pre-emerge actually goes down here pretty soon, and that's going to be a good one to try to help control this, but it will be a difficult weed season next year. And that open canopy of your lawn is really going to help those weeds thrive. Something else we can do is think about the mowing. You don't want to stress out your grass any more than it is. So we want to look at mowing as frequent as possible, because if you're mowing monthly or something like that and you're cutting a lot of grass off where there is grass growing, you're stressing that out. So the heat, the lack of rain, and the mowing stress does create an issue where you can do some pretty good damage to your lawn that will take a lot longer for it to recover, versus if you just do everything you can or are allowed to do, the recovery process will be a lot faster. Something that will go in with that recovery process will be on the weed control side will be the fertilization. We want to make sure that is there. We don't want to over fertilize, and if you over fertilize, then the plant starts trying to grow faster. It needs more water, so it's trying to pull in more water that we don't have, and we don't want to risk that. So there's a balance in between there. That's why you need a professional normally to do your fertilization, just because we don't want to over fertilize with anything, plus that'll leach through the soil and get in the water, or depending on what product you're using. So when we apply fertilizer, we're doing the right amount at the right time during the right season. So hopefully this little bit of info will help. Definitely look at next spring on top dressing. That'll be big. Start working on that soil for the future, because these summers happen. It's been a while, I believe, since the last time we've been this bad, and I remember it. If you were here 2011, it's very memorable, and it'll happen again in the future. So let's just try to do what we can, so we're not just having to dump water out, and there are plenty other options out there. If y'all have any questions, just let us know and we'll get back to you. Thanks a lot.